One of the most toxic traps I see people fall into is I'll be happy when insert thing you're looking forward to here. The reason why is because you train yourself, you condition yourself into not experiencing the fullness of life until you get whatever it is that you're waiting for. Now you may be like, oh, I'm relatively happy, but if you're waiting to be extremely happy when you get some external validation, external stimulus, your body starts to rely on stimulus to be that thing that'll get you to where you want to be at. Almost like a drug gets people to that peak, you know? Sugar gets people to that peak. Skydiving gets people to that peak. Why don't they just enjoy their regular day? You're surrounded by oxygen right now. Swimming in it, just like a fish swims through water. Why do you have to wait till you skydive to, you know, be happy? Swimming through oxygen right now. It's everywhere. But you don't even feel it. You're so used to it. But the point being that whether it be waiting for the next piece of technology, a whole society, waiting for a holiday, waiting for, you know, the next thing to, you know, get you that validation that you wanted. There's so many things that societally will condition you, waiting for the weekend. It's tragic. Just traps upon traps upon traps. Now, imagine that, you know, you've got a hot date with a guy. And you're just waiting. But then you're waiting. You're getting stuck in your head. You're stifling yourself. You're taken away from the experience of everything that's around you now. And I mean, hey, this might be bae. This might be a good reason to get excited for, but then you start to train yourself unconsciously, little by little, a little bit of dependency on him to give you some validation, to give you some stimulus, to give you that little kick of euphoria. You don't want that because you're a goddess and you're bad. And to put some chode above you is ridiculous. You can't be rocking for that. Trash, leave it where it belongs. And I mean, I'm not saying to judge people. Maybe they're clutch, maybe, but you know, if you're a goddess, it's hard to bring peasants along with you, because unless they're in that really niche, tight circle of hopefully fellow goddesses to help raise you up, you're just wasting your time entertaining somebody who you think might potentially be the thing that'll make you happy when you've developed this relationship in the future. And then that gets to a dangerous place because you start projecting. And you know, it can go as far as you like. And we just started with a small example of you're waiting for a date. And then all of a sudden it escalated to, oh, well, this future projection of the relationship will make me happier. You know, all the places it could go. And you let your mind fall into getting conditioned to rely on these almost fantasies as a point of stimulus and validation for yourself, when all you need is yourself. All you need is that core belief that you are enough as is. And you know, you can build that foundation a lot of ways. I like to do it through the present moment, you know. Instead of being happy when and waiting for some validation from something else, you know, you enjoy what you have now. You know, your five senses are on overdrive all day, but your mind is stopping you from experiencing the majority of that, just because you're thinking, you're perceiving, you're judging. It's like a filter, like some sunglasses over your eyes. I mean, you might have some, you know, fly shades. You may think your life is lit. There's probably some trash for real. You're probably some trash for real. You're just walking around a peasant, not no goddess. I'm sorry I tried to give you that clout in that last statement. You're running around all day like, oh yes, world of validation. Nope. In reality, as soon as you take those glasses off, you're gonna be shook. You'd be like, oh my gosh, all these people who I was putting on these pedestals above me, all these models on IG, all these celebrities who I was saying was bad. Oh no, I was wrong. Then you gotta accept that you were wrong. This path to becoming a goddess, and this all just started with, you know, not waiting to be happy when something happens. It goes very deep. If you can't enjoy the present moment, I don't know how you're going to even start to retrain yourself to not only be happy when you get that external stimulus. And you'll sit there, you'll scratch your head, you'll be like, can I look back? Is that me, still me? And I mean, at that point, you're just stuck in your head. All these limiting beliefs that you're slowly starting to recognize. Oh, wow, I waited for that date. Well, I waited until I got the makeup to feel like I was the shit. You know, I waited until I was out with my friends to be able to have fun. You know, so many things. I was waiting for my new iPhone. You know, that's not even something that you probably came up with. Just societal, social conditioning, just influencing you, putting its pressure on you. And you know, it's hard. You don't want to go against the mob. Pitchfork mob is dangerous. You gotta be careful out there. A lot of judgment that's also coming on you. You gotta be careful. You gotta watch out for. You know, poison drippers. I'm going all over the place. But these are all factors that play into you not being satisfied with what you have now and waiting for something else. You know? Your mind just runs, takes all these things that I'm talking about into consideration all day, every day. I know you got to calibrate. I know you got to, you know, accommodate for all the people who you humor. But if you're really a goddess and you're really on your path and you're really, you know, not waiting to be happy when something comes along, you know, does royalty wait to be happy? No. They live in a state of abundance. I don't know why you're tripping right now, but you probably like, am I a peasant? Yeah, you're a peasant. I want to see you be more than a peasant, though. You know? Like I said, you're a goddess and you're bad, but only if you take the steps to audit, to fix those limiting beliefs where, you know, you realize, oh, well, I keep falling to this trap of, you know, not feeling like I'm enough. But I want to be there. I want to get to that point where, you know, I feel grounded. I feel confident. I don't need the next concert, the next hot guy, you know, the next bit of gossip to feel like a little bit of stimulus, like my day is going up, it's going great. You know, train yourself. And like I said, the present moment, don't take my word for it. There's Eckhart Tolle, amazing teacher. I'll leave you with that. Power of Now. Go check it out. Do yourself a favor. You don't gotta listen to me. But once you start getting used to getting present to the moment, relaxing, taking away that bias, those filters, that judgment that you have over your life and the way that you're perceiving things, the easier it'll be to be satisfied with the you that you are in the now. And I always like to say, you know, the future you could be like, but it's gonna be so good when I get to be in this amazing environment. At that point, you're just, you know, making up a fairy tale, living off the validation of your own mind's thoughts of how happy you'll potentially be, instead of realizing that you could be that happy now. You've just placed all that value on a pedestal in the future, on some made-up story. And you know, you can never do anything in the past either. Oh, well, I remember it was so good last time when I saw him that, you know, it'll probably be this good this time, but I don't know. He might be a loser this time. You may have put him up on this pedestal, built him up this whole time. Just, you know, Real Social Dynamics, amazing company. One thing that I love that they say is every recall is a reframe. All these past things that you think gave you that validation, gave you that extra happiness that you're waiting for, you know, that's your thought. And you're recalling that thought. But based off of, you know, you not being present, you judging, have biases, interpreting things, when you recall that thought, you reframe it. Now, if you remember positive, maybe more positive. If you remember something negative, maybe negative. But if you're remembering something and it's like, oh, it was amazing, it was euphoria, it was awesome, he was perfect, you know, you have a biased judge filter, and you're not really seeing him for what he is. You may be letting a chode in. Ooh. Can't be letting no chodes in. We yeet chodes. The first thing we get rid of. Gone. But to let someone be given this benefit of the doubt, not saying, you know, you judge people and you're like, oh, I can't hear you, I can't see you. I'm just saying when you put that benefit of the doubt filter in front of them, you don't really audit. You don't really take them in for what they are, and you develop blind spots. That's how you find yourself trapped in a relationship with a chode not a goddess, but some pleb with another pleb who's created a codependent relationship. That doesn't sound lit. But hey, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying that if you're waiting to be happy when, and taking past projections and putting them onto people, or potential future projections and putting them onto people, you're limiting yourself to a lot of pitfalls that you could set yourself up for later down the line based off of your unknown bias, your own poison dripping on yourself. Now, let's say you start stacking your small wins. You're like, all right, well, I see what you mean. I'm gonna start getting myself aware of my blind spots. I'm gonna get more into the present moment. But how do I be more happy now? Well, start stacking those wins. Through presence, enjoy your 5 senses and all they have to offer you. Usually when I like to get present, I'll take a breath, I'll breathe in for 5 seconds, I'll hold it for 5 seconds, let it out for 5 seconds. You could also do meditation, you could also just stare at your hand. There are many ways that you can take your mind away from thought and get more present. But in order to stack the win, you want to be coming from a place of groundedness. So you can anchor that in presence and then move forward with that positive reference experience. Now say you're going about your day, you see a friend. Instead of, dapping them up, saying, "What's up, girl? How you doing? Haven't seen you in forever." You stop and you don't attack them with that energy. I don't say attack in a negative way. You shower them, drown them in love. But give them that space to be the most authentic version of themselves without them having something to compete and come up against. Give them that silence where you're admiring them. You're letting them be them in their natural habitat. See another goddess. Let her be her. Let her do her. Let her shine. She's hopefully doing the same for you, admiring you, watching you shine. But it's not until you are present, you stop yourself from thinking, you give that room to breathe, to where you're not judging your experience, even though it may be positive. But like I said, you're putting a filter, stifling yourself from fully taking in her for all her glory, all that she is. So then that experience goes from, oh, saw my girlfriend, it was lit, to I saw the most beautiful person ever. We had a moment. That experience goes from good to great. Now what are you waiting to be happy for? You're already starting your day off amazing. And start doing that. Start doing that more frequently. Everybody. Obviously, block out the chodes. We can't be humoring these peasants out here. But, as you go about your day, pay these people that extra mind, those fellow queens out there. Caught myself. Hopefully, you say what's up to your queens, but you only hang with the goddesses, because there's a huge tier jump from queen to goddess. We only goddesses out here. Now, you've got one win. Now, do you dwell on that win? Do you only visit that win? No. You just take it as a data point. Like, wow, stack that victory, whoop, throw it in the bank. Keep that momentum going throughout your day, You go to your favorite coffee place, you hit up Starbucks. It's hot, it's summer now. Maybe winter when you watch this. You get your favorite drink, start sipping on it. Get present to the moment. Don't fast forward through that drink. Why are you gonna rush the experience? When you're dying, you're parched, you're the thirstiest thirsty you've ever been. I'm sure you can remember a time when that happened. That water, when it hit your tongue, or whatever beverage you chose, it's like the nectar of the gods. Cascaded across your taste buds, went down your throat. When it hit your stomach, it felt to give life to you again. Why fast forward through that Starbucks drink just because, you're used to it? Why not enjoy it, savor it, stack that win? Remember that experience. So that way next time, instead of falling to the pitfall of rushing through, waiting to be happy until after you've already been satiated by the drink and it's done and gone, you enjoy it as it comes. You know, let's say you're out with the girls, you're dancing, you're getting ready before, obviously, pre-gaming. You're remembering the last time you were dancing. You're like, oh wow, the night will be awesome, it'll be great. Maybe you had a negative experience and you're like, oh well, hopefully today will be better. You know, take away any expectations you have for the night. Obviously, hope for the best, carry that great energy. But you know, you're with other people. Enjoy the dynamics of the moments as the night unfolds. Make this an epic story. You're with your girlfriends. You're a united squad. Big squad goals. You know? Don't get caught up in trying to chase the clout, trying to get the validation. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but that instant gratification isn't gonna last you long. You know? You'll go training yourself for mini validation, when all in all you should be scooping in all the validation, raking it in throughout the night. But it starts at the pregame, in the Uber, before you get there, when you're making the plans. Savor every step of the way, so that way, you know, you stack the small wins. And instead of it being like, oh, we'll be happy when we get to the venue, you know? We'll be happy when we turn up at the club, when we turn up at the kickback, when the night ends and we're just like remembering all the epic moments we had. Make every step of the way just as lit. Why do you have to wait until a holiday? Why do you have to wait until a concert? Why can't a smaller event be just as lit as what you would perceive a high-tier event to be? You know, train yourself for those small wins so you don't get, what's it called, desensitized to all the great stuff that there is moment to moment to moment to moment. Now, say you're at the club now, woo, turning up, a lot of stimulus going on, music's going, you got your turn up on, you know, you're with the girls, you're having fun. Now, if you're waiting to be happy when that hot guy approaches you, when, you know, you find some other baddies in the club, you link up, even bigger squad function, you see a friend, another girlfriend comes over who's going to meet you up, who didn't come with the squad. You know, if you're waiting for all these external things to happen in your storyline of the night, you know, you're not stacking those wins. Hey, stack the win that you're there. Stack the win that you look bad. You know you're bad. All your girlfriends looking bad. Stack the win of taking a moment to really enjoy the music as every beat hits. The aesthetic of the club. Also, take in the wins for every time you swerve a chode. Be aware of your surroundings, you know. Just because the guy's hot doesn't mean he's not trash. You know, when you can pull out your detector and go beep 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 beep. Oh, yo, goddess squad. Think he's a chode? Boom, stack your wins, playing duck hunt, knocking chodes out the way. Don't entertain these peasants, because they're going to be out there. And be happy when you catch them early, because you're present, because you're enjoying yourself and coming from a place where you're grounded and you know you're enough. Where you're choosing. You don't need to wait for them. You choose. Shoot or shoot. You'll be out there. You see it. I likes you and I wants you. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. But that's you. That's not you waiting. It's amazing when a goddess feels like they're in that much control, that they own the dance floor. That they're with the squad. They're turning up. United front. No one can stop y'all. You are the highest prestige in the venue. You're on top of the pedestal. You're really putting each moment as a win so that you keep that winning going. You're not waiting till the big event happens, when your favorite artist comes on, when they play your favorite song, when you get a little bit more lit, or when something funny happens. You know, every step you take, you're remembering, I'm gracing these peasants with my presence. You know, get in the habit of doing that. Stack these wins. They're endless. Now, say you hit some rough patches throughout your day. Stacking the wins not looking easy. You need to catch your blind spots on those limiting beliefs that have got you thinking that, you know, the little things aren't enough. Why do you think that? Audit. Really go into yourself. Reflect. Just like earlier, once you realize that you have all these blind spots, you know, address them so that you don't fall to these same things again. Fall prey to them. Make yourself vulnerable to not experiencing that greatest version of the day, you know, waiting to be happy when. A lot of times limiting belief will come from, say, a societal thing like, oh, well, I'll be happy when the weekend comes, when I get my day off, when the vacation's here, when it's my birthday, when it's a holiday. And not to say those aren't great times to celebrate, but if you were, to die tomorrow, would it have been worth it? Why are you waiting 365 days, 366 sometimes, to really treat yourself on your birthday? Every day should be your birthday. And that's a huge shift for a lot of people. And they usually build up their birthdays to be this big thing. How can I compare this big thing, me with my girls, you know? I'm a goddess, I'm bad, I have standards, my birthday is my birthday, it's a day of prestige, of epic celebration. How can I make an average day just as lit? For one, start stacking the small wins. Two, you can realize those limiting beliefs that, you know, you're training yourself again to only be happy when this certain day comes in. You know, you're then prey to only being satiated when you have that external stimulus of peak turn up. Not to say that obviously there's levels. Obviously, if you add extra stimulus, extra factors in, you'll get kicked up to the next level. But what I'm saying is, if you were, horrible to even fathom, die tomorrow, would you be satisfied if you waited until your birthday came to live as lit as if it was your birthday today? Think of that. A goddess claimed too early, lost. Never decided to turn up. Wasn't even a goddess. Was a peasant. Peasant the whole time. Waited 365 days to claim false clout that she was a goddess just to turn up. Oh, no. We turn up every day. But it takes time. You got to retrain your brain. Get rid of that social conditioning. Get rid of those limiting beliefs. And you got to start from ground zero. You really do. That's why I stress stacking the small wins so much. You know? If you're not putting yourself first, giving yourself that self-love, taking the stimulus and the validation off the pedestal, putting you on the pedestal, then you don't really have a grounded foundation to work with. And then that's when people give up. And a lot of people won't take action. Got a lot of losers out there. A lot of people who settle. I don't know. They're not really baddies. They're not really about that life. They're not really wanting the best for themselves, living their best life. Imagine that. You talking to your future self. Hey, future me. Oh, hey there, young goddess. Hey there, so, you know, I'm kind of tripping about some stuff. Oh, you're tripping about some temporary circumstance? Yeah, you know, I didn't think I was starting from ground zero, and oh, don't worry, clout, you need some clout? I got you. Making it rain, clout. That's all you gotta do. Start to take that clout from your future self. Siphon that in. Take that entitlement so that you feel that when you're starting from ground zero, starting from that baseline, knowing now that you're aware, you can't go back. If you go back, you know, I don't know what to say from you. Live a boring life. I don't know, be happy when something cool happens. But if you're not, and you're starting from ground zero and you know it's going to take a little to build, borrow that clout from your future self. Because you know, obviously, that you're going to be lit every day, all day, 24/7. And take that entitlement, take that prestige, Use that future you who you know you're going to be, because that you is there. That you is hiding. I'm talking to that you right now. The you that knows their worth. Not the you who's second guessing stuff, waiting to be happy, treating themselves like a pleb. You know, that you I could care less for. That I don't want to know that you. That you is boring. Ugh. I'm talking to that baddie. The one who's trapped inside, waiting to be a goddess because you're too stifled by your environment, stifled by your own thoughts. You need to get out of your head. How are you going to really enjoy turning up with the girls if, you know, you're setting all these limiting beliefs up for yourself? You're not borrowing that clout from your future self, showing yourself that self-love, nurturing yourself, giving yourself that healthy bubble, building up that firewall for your bubble, those defenses, so that, you know, when stimulus comes your way, you can choose whether you let it in if it's positive, but you're already good in your bubble. You're already good. Stimulus can add, but you're already good in your bubble. When negative comes your way, you just yeet it away. But at that point, you're starting to build that foundation where you're already satisfied with being you. Core belief, fundamental, in order to not wait to be happy when, you know? That future cloud concept, you know, let's take it to something more actionable, because you say you're like, oh, I don't want to take invisible me as clout because that's not cool enough. Well, stack those wins that I was talking about. Give yourself something tangible if you want to do it that way. But, you know, and even then, stacking wins, borrowing clout from your future self, I technically see those as limiting beliefs. For me, I have had a paradigm shift where I've fortunately given myself enough wins to every day is the littest day possible. Every moment that I give myself a present moment just adds to the depth of how amazing that day is. Going from good to great. I don't need to be happy when. You don't need to be happy when you go turn up with your girlfriends. You don't need to be happy when you go on that hot date you've been waiting for. You don't need to be happy when you get your ideal seasonal bod, get those gym gains. You're a baddie already. I hope you know that. If you don't, like I said, fine, live a boring life. Wait to be happy. Wait to be enough. Wait to be satisfied with yourself. I mean, crushing those limiting beliefs is a tough journey. And, you know, it takes time. But not to put a limiting belief out there, like I said, you could have a paradigm shift. You could be like, whoa, all this makes sense. I'm a goddess. I'm bad. I'm going to take myself to that next level. I'm going to build that confidence. I'm going to grow that relationship with the future me as clout by stacking wins, by getting present to the moment. And I'm going to be out there and I'm going to crush it. And hey, that's all I can hope for. I only want the best for you. Only want the best. Nothing less. And you know, adding that depth from the present moment gives you so much to work with in terms of leverage for being satisfied in the now. Let's say, take your 5 senses, for example. If you get present to the moment, you know, slow down your mind, stop those thoughts. If you're not really thinking about what you're seeing, obviously you're seeing a lot clearer, a lot less judgment, a lot less bias. It's one way you can be happy now, taking in all the beauty that's around you, you know? Ooh, see that really hot guy over there? Ooh. Now, even then, when the stimulus hits, just get present again. Don't get overstimulated. He might be a chode, he might be ugly, you might be projecting onto him. Don't get your hopes up yet. Enjoy the environment around him. It's a natural habitat. Let's take hearing, you know? Ooh. My favorite song is on. Let me take away the distractions and also hear what else is going on around in my environment. Add some depth to it. You know, you want to turn up to your favorite tune, you know? They bump in that anthem. You're up in the club. Ooh, turning up with the fellow goddess squad. And then all of a sudden, anthem comes. Boom. You're about to go overstimulate yourself, get caught up in all the activity, but instead get present. Taking through those five senses, the sound, and really experience that song as if it was the first time you ever heard it. Hear what else is going on around you. Really immerse yourself in that experience. Be happy now. Don't wait to be happy. Don't put any projection out there, you know. Let's say taking a scent. You're about to eat the most delicious chocolate cake slice you've ever had, ever in your life. Take that smell. So fresh, so delicious. Hasn't even hit your taste buds yet. But you know, you're present to the moment. You're really savoring that. You even smell the air that's coming in around it. You get the full experience. You don't limit yourself. You're happy, you're satisfied in that moment, just off the smell. Now, take taste. Going for that chocolate cake, you take that first slice, that first bite. Instead of being like, yes, the cake, and just going for it, you pause, you wait. Take that bite, really enjoy it. Savor it. You remember it as it crosses your palate. As you swallow it, the aftertaste there lingers. But instead of fast forwarding through that slice, you got all the squeeze from the juice of that experience. And let's go to the last one. We did the sight, the sound, smell, the taste, the touch. And that's crazy. Touch, present moment touch, that's your whole body, technically. Let's say you feel that new outfit you put on. You look at yourself in the mirror. You're looking bad. You're checking yourself out. Whoo! Those angles. Damn. Yeah, I see you. Catching them angles. All right. But do you feel the clothes on your body, how they fit? How's your posture? You know? You've been looking forward to this outfit. Why wait to be happy to show it off? Why not really enjoy the experience of trying it on now for all that it is? You know? Don't get caught up in the clout taking the picture. Enjoy the experience of how it fits to your body, how it feels, how you're gonna impress that guy when you go over and you touch him, but you're wearing that outfit, so you feel that extra electricity flowing through you, you know, because you've grounded that extra charisma to your experience through that outfit. You know, that's just a quick dip into the five senses and how, you know, you can go deeper into the present moment. You cannot win. More ways to stack wins. And there's endless ways you can take it. Limitless possibilities. It all depends on you and if you're gonna actually take action, or are you gonna be a loser and live a boring trash life. You know, I only want the best for you. If you're a goddess and you know you're bad, why settle for the life that you don't deserve? Tormented by your mind, caught up in things, waiting to be happy, when you should already be present. You should already be satisfied with yourself. Know your worth. Put yourself on that pedestal. Know that you are the peak of experience. You don't need something else external. Other stuff externally is great, you know, it's awesome, but you know, at a certain point, what if you don't have it? Then you're relying on the remembrance of something. Getting caught up in that thought. Ground yourself as the foundation of enjoyment. So that way you don't need the external. You are enough. Now it just takes you believing it. Let's take some limiting beliefs that really stifle people and really take them from being able to enjoy the now, waiting till they're happy when. And one of them is group mentality. You're just surrounded by a bunch of people who don't live a lit life like you, who aren't worthy to be considered a goddess. And it's difficult. I'm not saying you got to leave these people behind, but when you're the only one doing it and you're experiencing the journey alone, it's hard to not wait to be happy when surrounded by peasants all day, all the time, having to humor them. You don't deserve to have to deal with that riffraff. But that's even more of a reason to take it into your power. You can either dwell, oh, poor me, I'm surrounded by people who aren't lit. Or you could really make your life's adventure lit. The movie of your life, the littest it could be. You know? You're starring as your favorite lead, Wonder Woman, Captain Marvel, you know? Black Widow. Take you being on your life's adventure, enjoying being yourself instead of waiting to be happy when, as being a superpower, so that you can be the heroine of the film of your life. You know, that takes out everybody else. You know, I'm sure each of those female superheroes lives a lit life because, you know, one, they got superpowers, but you have your own superpower. You just have to hone it. You have to harness it. You have to wield it as if it was, you know, just naturally your state. And building that state. Another thing that, shout out, Real Social Dynamics taught me was building state. You know, your core foundation of your baseline of how you feel, that's like what your state is at. Now you can nurture your state and grow your state, or you can let it diminish. And you know, when you, like I said, the recall and the reframe from earlier, memory, you know, is state access dependent. So if you remember a good time, you know, you'll boost your mood, your state will go up. Now, dwelling on thoughts of the past, dwelling on thoughts of the future, it can only do so much for you. But if you draw state from within, that's so powerful. You don't even know. You don't even know. Crazy powerful. It's like being your own solar panel. Just drawing from within. Not needed. And I mean, technically, you know, the sun coming down charges the solar panel. But you're not needing an external fuel source to gas you up. You don't need that external stimulus to be lit. You're there, you're self-sustaining. You're drawing state from within. You are enough as is. Shout out Real Social Dynamics. So many paradigm shifts. Can't recommend them enough. They're amazing content. So many great instructors. And that they're a great source to learn from. I remember so many things that I've done to improve my life. Learn from them. Can't recommend them enough. Say another limiting belief into why you, for some reason, would think that, you know, you still have to wait to be happy when. You've lived all your life this way. Waiting for the weekend. Waiting for someone else to come and scoop you for the function. You know, you were never the one to take initiative to start things. It was always something else, something else, something else. You don't know how to be the life of the party. Well, that's where you go back to stacking those small wins. You don't have to amp it up to be your peak experience comparison level. You know, start small. Start with those small wins and work your way up. You can also surround yourself with other people who are also of a like mindset. That's powerful too. And I'm not talking about a bunch of homegirls who are just going to gas you up, you know, hype you up, get you in your zone, and then, you know, not really give you the foundation, that nurturing, that those core beliefs that will help you to sustain, to draw that state from within. You know, if it's just validation, it's not going to do you any good. You need other goddesses who are on the same path to mastery, who really want the best life for themselves, you know. When baddies unite, oh my gosh, that's unfathomable power. So much power within that, you know. I hope you know. Seems like a no-brainer to me. So surround yourself with people. If you're not ever the person to, you know, be the life of the party, and you're really looking for that in to get to your party hype level, your party enjoyment level experience, but you know you're also trying to start from drawing within. You're not going to wait to be happy when, but you just don't know the way to equivocate that. Surround yourself with people who will help you along the way, give you that accountability. Huh? Goddesses unite, baddies unite. You don't need any weird masculine energy. Just do it yourself. You are enough as is. That's another thing. A lot of people think they need a partner to go through, experience life with, you know? I mean, relationships can be empowering, but you got to make sure that it's not coming into a place of codependence, you know? When you're relying on someone else, even in the slightest way, that's where that poison dripping comes in. We're talking about limiting beliefs. Whew, those are toxic. Poison dripping? Especially when you play yourself, you set yourself up. Now, say you are in a relationship with someone, significant other. Could be male, could be female, could be other. Ladies, I'm not judging your selection. Do what you do. But say that person's stifling your growth. They're only waiting to be happy when. And you can't change someone's mind. Can't. You can only show them and hope that they'll come. You can't waste your time trying to change someone's mind. How can you help someone else if you haven't helped yourself first? Hey, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. Try to tell them that they're wrong. Are they ready to accept that they're wrong? You may have to go on this journey alone. You may have to leave them energetically behind until they're ready to catch up. But why are you going to wait to be happy until they're happy? That's poison dripping. They're there, but, you know, do they have your best intention at heart? If they're not willing to let you go forward and shine, conquer, go ham, I don't think so. No. You know? They're going to be there. They're going to take their own life's journey, their own life's path. They're going to be doing their own thing. It's going to take their own time. You can only help encourage them, show them by example. But you know, that's definitely going to be an obstacle that you'll have to face. It's tough. You know, I hope that if they're a chode and this has brought you to realize that they're a chode, you let them go. Don't need no weird dude chodes sitting around, taking up space, draining the energy of a goddess when she's trying to live her best life. Say, leave them, drop them. Go hang out with your homegirls. I bet they'll be way more on your page. And if not, then hey, you may need to even leave them behind. Like I was talking about before in the friend example, you know, find people of like mind who will help nurture you to that place. Surround yourself with those people. If your partner is not energetically compatible and they're being a succubus, a poison dripping succubus, taking you down, not letting you shine, not letting you hit these paradigms of goddess level, then hey, that's a tough decision for you to make. I'm just saying that the future you, what would they say? Look back. Oh, you settled? Wow. When they show their true colors, you settle? Ooh. I mean, I didn't mean to settle. I was just comfortable. Those limiting beliefs. I don't know if you're really a goddess. I don't know. And, you know, they may need time. But, you know, how much time is really worth it if they're not really going to come around to a more positive life of enjoying the now instead of dwelling on their unhappiness or their mediocre happiness they're settling for until they're really happy. It's going to be a tough decision. But it definitely is something that you can overcome. And I have faith in you. Now, say it's your environment. You're really in a negative place. How can I not wait to be happy when everything I'm experiencing now is horrible, absolutely horrible? And I'm not trying to mask this all over with, oh, whoa, the world is great, you know? Positivity everywhere, ooh. I'm not trying to do that, because sometimes things are horrible. It's tragic when they are. Maybe you can use stacking wins. Maybe you can use surrounding yourself with people. But even maybe then it's not a strong enough anchor to really come out of that hole. Really change your dynamic and relationship with the environment. And then that's when I really recommend Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Really. The present, if circumstances are really tough, really just a negative relationship, you know, getting a relationship with the present moment. What is your relationship with the present moment? How are you taking the large scale and really refining it down, to the most niche experience? And you know, being a goddess out here is tough. It's wild when you have social conditioning, when you have judgment coming down on you, when you have people who don't want to see you shine. You got haters coming down on you. It may not even be a negative environment. It may just be continuous negative stimulus hitting you all the time. And you know, the present moment is a great tool to get out of that. Great tool. Also, Real Social Dynamics, amazing instructors. They have so much content on how to overcome obstacles like this. Can't recommend them enough. Can't recommend Eckhart Tolle enough. Both Real Social Dynamics, Eckhart Tolle, brought me to where I am now. Amazing resources. But let's say you're in one of those two places. How are you going to get out? One, the present moment. When you stop your mind, even when there's positive stimulus, even when there's negative stimulus, your mind gets in the way. If you can stop your mind, stop your thought, stop your interpretation, bias, and judgment of the external as it comes in, you know, you're giving yourself grounding for the few moments that it may be at first, to not be in reaction. And that reaction gives you that groundedness, gives you that confidence, where you can then move forward and conquer. You know? Haters hating on you because you too pretty. Haters hating on you because they hate and jealous. Drama coming in. You know? Tragic experiences. Misfortune. Just hitting you at all angles. But you try to still all that. Separate yourself from the stimulus and get present. It'll be the start of a foundation that you can grow. It may take you a little time. You may have a paradigm shift and realize that, you know, you don't care. Once you really have an experience at the present moment and you have that foundation built, that baseline, you just dismiss everything. Can't pay no mind at all. I really hope that works for you. Or, you know, Real Social Dynamics has amazing courses to overcome many life obstacles. Highly recommend you check them out as well. Let's say it's none of those things. Let's say it's just you. You're like, all right, so I know and I hear everything. I know I should be happy now. I know I shouldn't hold myself back. I'm a goddess. I'm bad. I know that. But I just it's hard to go against everything I've known. It's so ingrained in me. Like, how do I match the dopamine that I get from such a heightened epic experience and even try to be as happy as that now? Now that's hard because you're conditioned. And let's take classical conditioning. Ivan Pavlov. You know, he did the experiment where you ring the bell and you feed the dog. You ring the bell, you feed the dog. Dog's salivating, sniffing, it's looking for that food. You ring the bell, you feed the dog. You ring the bell, you don't feed the dog this time. And he's like, smelling, where's my food at? I'm looking for that food. You know, the dog got conditioned to anticipate that he'd be getting fed. So when the food isn't there, still salivating, still eager to get that food, it's just not there. If you wait for that stimulus, for that dopamine hit again and again and again and again, you're gonna be already conditioned. You're already gonna have such a gap in you where your baseline's at and where your optimal comfort's at. And it's gonna be so hard to bridge that gap. But let me not put a limiting belief out there. Like I said, you may have a paradigm shift. You may be able to transcend that. You may be able to not let that limiting belief get in your way, and more power to you. But just for example's sake, say you're like, I don't know how to do it. I can't bridge the gap. How do I accept settling for less stimulus? And just like Pavlov conditioned the dog, you have to recondition yourself. Just like you may be conditioned that, you know, you don't feel beautiful because you're comparing yourself to someone else. There's that judgment. You have to rewire your brain. First, you gotta start from ground zero and accept, okay, I am enough as is. Then, you know, you have to figure out where these beliefs came from. Well, you know, other people, my own ego, my own judgment, you know, my peers, my surroundings, and audit those things. So same with the stimulus. If you're going to attack a limiting belief like beauty and aesthetic, which is so subjective, and if you're really on this journey and you're really a goddess and you're really bad, then knowing your self-worth, I don't want to dismiss this example because it's something a lot of people struggle with. I mentioned it lots of other times, is definitely a fundamental thing that needs to be addressed, core belief, because you are a goddess and you are bad. And you can't arbitrarily, you know, compare two completely different humans. Just like in a science experiment, you got your x-axis, you got your y-axis. One of your variables has to be constant, and then one of them you change. So much stuff in between two people you can't even compare. So you can never compare yourself to someone else, ever. And if someone's comparing you, do they even know you? Do they even know? They might know a fact, but do they know you? No. But to get back onto the point, if your stimulus is there, excuse me, too high to reach, you're trying to get there. You know, I had the most epic birthday party. I turned umpteen years. It was me, the girls, turn up all weekend. We went to Malibu, San Diego. We was everywhere. We went to Vegas. It was the most epic birthday weekend. How can I compare to that? Now, you've conditioned yourself to only be happy when for so long, and giving yourself such a high intensity hit of dopamine that it's gonna be a bunch of small wins in order for you to tackle that big a scale of transition. And you know, there's gonna be a level of like what you're experiencing, cognitive dissonance. Your reality is so different where you're at now from where you're used to being, that small wins are like, if you're used to having 3 shots of espresso and then you have a glass of apple juice and you're relying on the sugar to get you through your day instead of coffee, and you're like, I don't know what, I'm a diet, it's crazy, no caffeine, what am I gonna do with myself? That level of distance is a huge gap. But you know, like the conditioning, you can train yourself, You can rewire yourself, just like if you have limiting beliefs about your own aesthetic, you can change that. You can condition yourself. It will take time. I'm not saying you'll hit that peak every time. Obviously, once you develop that bubble, once you get your baseline set, your foundation set, try going to the present moment. Really savor small things. Learn to have a good baseline. Then when the external stimulus hits you, you know, when you receive it, you won't need as much to start reaching that level. And you know, every experience is subjective. Each time it's going to be different. Each time you'll be able to, you know, remember that Vegas weekend with the girls. You'll be able to remember that beach trip to Malibu, to San Diego. You know, vacation to Hawaii with the girls, wherever it may be. You know, those are definitely standalone, and I'm not trying to say diminish those at all. I'm just saying subjectively, each experience is going to be different. Your life continuously, as your story unfolds, you'll have new wins, you'll have new victories. But the thing is to try to get your baseline to a place where you're already good. You're already at a pretty high positive of being satisfied, being happy. So you're not waiting. You can always enhance. You can always go up, level up your experience. But you want to be able to start from a place where you're already good. So go for those wins. Go for those fundamental rebuilding exercises to reinitiate a new form of conditioning to where, you know, you're satisfied. You're not looking into the future, dwelling there. You're in the present. You are enough as is. You're that goddess. You're bad. You're the same person you were on that holiday with the girls in Hawaii, beach trip, Malibu, San Diego, Vegas, right now. That's you now. It's just in a different place. So make the best of that place you're in. It'll take time. Or, like I said, could have a paradigm shift. Could be quick. All in all, you need to get out of your head. Get out of your head. You are in your own way. Your own worst enemy. Take the present moment. Use it. Savor it. Make that foundation. Get that growth. Stack those wins. Don't wait to be happy when something happens. Take powers in your hands. It's always been there. You just need to use it. Just need to use it. Takes a little time. May take no time at all. But the fact that you're willing to go on this journey is already such a huge win. You're already pretty much there. Think of all the people who you're going to have to leave behind, living their peasant lives, being boring, being basic. Maybe some of your girlfriends. Maybe some guys you were interested in. But you want the best for you. That's all you should want. Why would you settle for less? You can't settle. Cannot settle. You don't want to settle. It's toxic. That's you getting in your own way again. Those limiting beliefs creeping in, that poison dripping. You got to get out of your head. Get out of your head. Get into the present moment. Enjoy your life being you, because you're the only you that there is. That future version of you, a lot of times it can help, you know, bringing in that cloud, bringing in that entitlement. But even then, that you is in you right now. And I've been talking to that you this whole time. That you is the part that understands this, that knows it's possible, that can't look back and be the same after this again. Because, you know, it's only your fault if you don't take action. Only your fault. If you know, now if you're dumb and you never were shown the way and you never knew that you had the power in you, then, you know, I can't judge them. But now that you know, it's in your hands. It's your right to live your life the best way possible. That's all I could ever want for you. You're a goddess. You're a baddie. Don't settle for less. You only deserve the best. So be happy now. Don't wait, because you are enough.